Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts, opinions, and feels on My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. There is a trigger warning for suicide with this book, so be aware of that before going into this book and also before watching this review. This is the story of Azelle, who essentially wants to commit suicide, but she's not sure if she has the courage to do it alone. So she goes on this online forum, and on this online forum there's a section for suicide partners, and so she finds a suicide partner and together they form a suicide pact. That's what this book is about. I don't want to go into too much detail because I think it's just one of those books that you just need to dive into and to just experience it for yourself. It is a very dark book, but it's a beautiful book at the same time. I will say though, prepare yourself because this book gave me a wild case of the feels and it was overwhelming at times. Overwhelming. This is one of those books that had me on the verge of tears with every page. I'm not a book crier. I don't cry often reading books, but this one moved me to tears. It was an emotional reading experience, to say the least. I would suggest having tissues on hand with this book. It was really difficult for me at times reading this book because it's just so hard seeing these characters just kind of feel like they've lost worth in the world. They feel completely worthless, and I just wanted to like jump into this novel and to lead them into a different direction and to just show them that they are loved and that they have worth and that they are important. So let's talk about the writing. The writing was excellent. This book was so well written. Specifically, I want to talk about the tone because I think that this book just did such a great job at maintaining this very dark and sad tone. It never shied away from this dark feelings that these characters are facing, and I just felt like with every page you could just sense this sadness, and I think the author did a fantastic job at maintaining that feeling throughout the book. The plot was paced really well, not too fast, not too slow. I think it gave you this chance to really get under the skin of these characters and just to see what they go through on a day-to-day basis and just how it feels to feel the way that they feel. Something else that I really liked and I wasn't expecting was this mysterious aspect to this book. In the book, Azelle's father has killed somebody. That's not a spoiler, okay? It's not a spoiler at all. But in this book, he's killed somebody and you don't know how he kills this person until later on in the book. And you're kind of leading up to that point when she breaks down and really shares how that happened. And it was just so dark and it just adds this really mysterious aspect to this book. And I just think that that was a really great thing to add to this story. And I adored these characters so much. I love how completely different the two main characters were from each other. You've got Azelle, who just does really well in school. She's very smart and she loves classical music. I think she kind of came off as a little bit pretentious, but that didn't bother me too much. And then you've got Roman, who is very athletic and he's kind of the popular guy, I guess you could say. I like the fact that we had these two characters that you wouldn't expect to be feeling the way that they feel. And I just think that that was so important because they're not people that you would expect to feel this way. But that's the thing, you never know what somebody's going through. You could be the smartest person in your class and still be facing suicidal thoughts, or an athlete who is just like the star basketball player but still be having these suicidal thoughts. And so I think that that was just so important to show that anybody could feel the way that these characters felt. So those are my thoughts, opinions, and feels on My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. I highly recommend this book. It's such a beautiful book. It's sad, but it's beautiful, and I would just highly recommend it. It was so great. So let me know down below if you guys have read this book or if you're planning to, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Thanks for watching. Later. I would